On the news at 7, Governor Akeredolu celebrates first female senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Folake Solanke, and Asiwaju Tinubu as they celebrate birthday. Again, terrorists attack Kaduna train station. President Buhari urged security chiefs to fish out perpetrators as Vice President Oshibajo, IGP, service chiefs visit scene and victims of Kaduna terror attack. From the foreign scene, Russian strike batters regional government building in southern city of Mykolaiv.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the news at 7. I am Obi Chukwemeka Uti. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has congratulated the first female senior advocate of Nigeria and his professional mother, Chief Folake Solanke SAN, on the occasion of her 90th birthday. Akeredolu, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Richard Olatunde, described the legal luminary as an icon whose exploits in the legal profession have become a beacon. The governor saluted the commitment and dedication of Chief Solanke in keeping and promoting the values of the legal profession and bequeathed an enduring legacy. Governor Akeredolu wishes Chief Folake Solanke many more years. Development. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his 70th birthday. President Muhammadu Buhari, in a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, affirmed the contributions of Tinubu to the political, economic and social development of Nigeria, standard in leadership, governance, and the President prayed the Almighty God will increase Asiwaju Tinubu in strength, good health and wisdom to keep serving the nation and humanity. To security now, some victims of Monday's attack on Abuja-Kaduna train have been admitted to the T4 Military Hospital and St. Gerald Hospital in Kaduna State. It is not clear yet how many persons were injured, but the attacked train had the capacity to convey more than 1,000 passengers. At least 7 people are feared dead, and many are believed to have been abducted by the terrorists, also known as bandits, who attacked the train. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai today visited some of the victims receiving treatment at the hospitals. The governor was accompanied by the heads of security. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba, Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo, and top officials of the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) have visited the site of the terrorist attack on a train at Duse Forest in Shikun local government area of visit to Kaduna State following bandit attack on an Abuja-bound train conveying hundreds of travelers. Spokesperson to Vice President Laolu Akonde said Oshibajo was on his way to Lagos for the 13th Tinubu colloquium before making a detour to Kaduna. The Vice President was received at Kaduna Airport by State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. He also visited victims of the attacks, 44 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital and St. Gerald's Catholic Hospital, both in Kaduna State capital. Staying with the attack, President Muhammadu Buhari today met with service chiefs in Abuja over the Kaduna train incident, which occurred on Monday, and directed the immediate conclusion of all processes for the implementation of the integrated security surveillance and monitoring solution for the Abuja to Kaduna railway line. The president also said the solution should be extended to cover the Lagos-Ibadan railway line. This is in accordance to a statement by presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu. According to the statement, the president also directed the Nigerian Railway Corporation management to speedily repair the damaged lines and resume normal service without delay. The president charged the law enforcement chiefs to bring back all passengers kidnapped and ensure that each of the callous terrorists are hunted down and made to face justice. Not leaving security yet, the Senate has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to declare full war against terrorists in Nigeria. The lawmakers during plenary discussed the spate of insecurity in the country and the recent attack by bandits on a Kaduna-bound train where travelers were killed and many others were injured. One of the lawmakers, Senator Gabriel Soswam, said the terrorist attack on the train is a pointer to the failure of leadership in the country. He said it is time for the appropriate authority to take decisive actions to address insecurity in the country. The sponsor of the motion, Senator Obasani, noted that terrorists have stepped up attacks in some communities and public facilities in Kaduna State. The director of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and other relevant government agencies to assist the affected communities with relief materials. Moving on to other stories, the challenges confronting residents of Akure, the Ondo State capital, over affordable housing is being addressed with the kickoff of the Alpha 3-day Phase 1 Irese housing estate at Irese in the federal local government area of the state. This is an initiative of Ondo State government in partnership with Alpha 3-day Limited, a company jointly owned by the state government and CTEC aimed at addressing housing deficit in the state. Our reporter Joy Pius reports that over 100 housing units have been completed in the estate. The report.
According to the United Nations World Population Prospects, Nigeria's 2022 population stands at over 216 million, or 2.53% increase from 2021 figures, and its urban population accounts for about 50% of its total population. The population drift to urban centers has increased demand for housing, and the burden of acquiring affordable shelter explains the housing deficit, which has risen from 17 to 20 million in 2021. Government and private organizations over the years continued to work assiduously at ensuring the housing gap is bridged. Several of such efforts have been recorded in Ondo State under the present administration. Latest is the acquisition of a large expanse of land at Irese in Ifedore local government, spanning 57 hectares, which will accommodate about 260 housing units for estate purposes by Alpha 3D, a company jointly owned by the Ondo State government and CTEC. The executive director of business development
going for 12 million naira. The 3-bedroom is going for 14 million naira, while the detached is going for 14.5 million naira. How do you pay? Very easy. All that you need to move to your house is just to pay the 25%. Once you pay 25%, which is 3.5 million, the key to your house will be handed over to you.
The project has also created an avenue for youths to engage in skilled and unskilled labor.
It's not about just having a building. It's a duty of the management to give you electricity. It's a duty to ensure that the road is asphalted. By all means, talking to partners, talking to friends, and we're achieving that. It's also the vision of the MD that each building
a place he has had 2 stints during his illustrious career in the Ondo State Civil Service. First in 1980 as an advert traffic officer and subsequently in 2019 as an administrative secretary. As he draws the curtain on his career in the State Civil Service as permanent secretary in charge of general administration, the OSRC Media Group organized an event in celebration of his meritorious service and dedication towards the repositioning of the corporation.
He's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
The Chairman, Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, described Mr. Oshodi as a dependable ally who supported the management team in the actualization of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's mandate to reform the corporation.
Mr. Oshodi will work, like the old secondary school games master. He will walk majestically like a snail, and his head turns right and left. By the time we meet the next morning, we say, "Oga, I have found a way out to that problem of yesterday." And one of the things he has done here is to support us in rewarding excellence. If you don't have support in your management system, part of it is being forthright. Part of it is having foresight. Part of it is doing the back clearing.
Director of various departments and staff who worked closely with Mr. Oshodi said his wealth of experience contributed to their success.
He's not a boss, but a leader who leads by example. To him, he believes that you are a failure if your subordinates fails or they are not able to deliver.
He introduced a lot of things to the system while here. The idea of a blue sheet, very, very important. There is no way you can raise a memo. There is no way you can bring up anything for management consideration. You must use the blue sheet.
When we have issues with our generators, you will see Mr. Oshodi, he will also be there. Sometimes you will think that he's even an engineer because he gives very vital information, very vital advice.
His mentorship imprint was also felt by younger colleagues who described him as a solution-oriented administrator.
If you are a young officer and you are meeting Mr. Oshodi for the first time, the first thing you ask you is, what is your qualification? If you say you have this, he will say no, you have to go further.
This was the time that I moved with him before he left. As an administrator, he taught me how to, when you have to dress well.
Mr. Mike Oshodi, who was accompanied by his wife and staff at his office, appreciated the media group for honoring him, noting that the celebration was a wake-up call for everyone to approach their duties diligently.
And we are taught to do things the way I was doing it here then. Sincerely speaking, I never thought that we are doing anything extraordinary.
A gift was presented to him with prayers for more success in retirement as he officially bows out of service on March the 30th, 2022. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
The Nigerian Union of Pensioners Ondo State Chapter has dismissed a media report credited to it that it plans to drag Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu to court over 68 billion naira accumulated pension and gratuities. Chairman of the union, Johnson Osrc, in a chat with OSRC's Richard Ilesome, said the union never considered taking any legal action against the governor, contrary to what he called misrepresentation of fact. Osrc said that the senior citizens owe the governor a debt of gratitude for prioritizing payment of gratuities and pensions despite shortfall in state allocation. The report.
The media space was last week awash with the reported plan of the Ondo State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners to drag Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu to court over 68 billion naira accumulated gratuity allegedly owed to the senior citizens. According to the report credited to Chairman of the Union, Johnson Osrc, the legal action was inevitable following the continuous denial of their entitlements. But in the chat with OSRC, Johnson Osrc explained that contrary to the report, it was the joint decision of the Southwest pensioners at the zonal level to drag their governors to court over unpaid pensions and gratuities. Osrc said pensioners in Ondo State had never at any time considered suing Akeredolu over unpaid gratuities, emphasizing that the report was orchestrated to sever the union's relationship with the governor.
I was very seriously embarrassed by the publication because we never made in pensions for the pensioners. Such a governor has tried to credit Akeredolu for implementing the 33% pension harmonization, which was expected to have been implemented about 11 years ago. But he came on board and he implemented
all students' associations to prioritize development of their alma maters, as government cannot do it alone. The State Commissioner for Education, Mr. Femi Agagu, spoke at the 65th and 66th anniversary of St. Catherine Anglican Girls Grammar School in our local government area of Ondo State. Osrc's reporter Zihimo Ebeme covered the event and now reports.
There were nostalgic feelings of old students of St. Catherine Anglican Girls Grammar School or WAR came together after years of separation with exchange of greetings and banters, thanks to the 65th and 66th anniversary of the school that draws old students from within and outside the country to the ancient town of WAR. It was also an occasion to brainstorm on how they can give back to the institution that shaped them. Addressing the gathering, Ondo State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Mr. Femi Agagu, represented by the Regional Education Officer for our local government, Mr. Olu Obajulaye, appreciated the old students for giving back to their alma mater. Agagu assured them of government continued support.
I know of parents, I know of old students that have the wherewithal to do good things, but they will never remember their foster mother. The school that has given to them, they don't remember to give back. But I'm happy today, Skoga has created a need for itself and is a force to reckon with in Ondo State today.
A special guest of honor on the occasion and Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, also commended efforts of the old students towards educational development.
Because if the money is coming, the buildings are going on, but they are not doing their work to sustain the tempo and the quality of work, then we will not be delighted. But that they are responding by putting in more work, I think is commendable by all of us. And I want to say that on behalf of the Diocese of Owo, we will continue to support you. We are already present here. And of course, we are waiting on government to respond in our discussion, and that will guide us as to the next step forward.
The national president of the association, Mrs. Tola Awo, the principal of the school, Mrs. Agbede, and others applauded the association for bringing the needed development to the school.
If you look around, you will see that so many beautiful